Hello to the White Plains community. This is the 60th anniversary of the establishment of White Plains. It started in a high school in 1961, the summer of 1961. And so today we're going to be talking about some of the history. We're going to be talking about some of the inspiration behind the Heart and Home, as well as the Awareness Committee, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more perspective as to what White Plains has meant to a lot of people over the years. Russ?
Yeah.
You've been around here a few weeks. You started in 1961 when the church started. Do you remember meeting in the high school?
I do. As a matter of fact, I think our first service was actually in the cafeteria of Cary High School, and I think we might have met there a month or so. But we eventually moved to the auditorium in Cary High School, and I remember the classes were being held in some of the practice rooms that the band used that were on the side of the hallway. Fairly small rooms. They were maybe 15 by 12 foot rooms. There were not very many people back then. I forget how many families, but it was a fairly small congregation, and everybody was just so excited to be able to start a new church.
So over the 60-year history, we've identified 27 individuals that either have gone into professional ministry or are about to go into professional ministry.
Right. I think White Plains has always been a very spirit-filled church, and we've always been involved in a lot of missions and ministries to outside groups and communities. And then a lot of the people that actually went into the ministry from White Plains have been involved in those missions, like Appalachia Service Project. A lot of the folks were involved in Walk to Emmaus, which is an ecumenical, weekend spirit-filled kind of thing. And I think the main thing is this has always been a spirit-filled church, and we've always been in the forefront of missions.
Jerry and I have been members at White Plains for almost 30 years now. We raised our two kids in the church, and presently I am the chairperson for the Heart and Home Committee. In addition to our Sunday school classes and our 11 a.m. embrace service, the Children's Center uses the kitchen area, as well as occasionally using other spaces. Wake Tech uses our first floor for ESL classes. In the past, Family Promise has housed participants in our CLC several weeks a year. There are groups that play basketball in our gym. Our youth group meets here. We have a prayer room and a library. We hold our missions yard sale here every spring. I was a part of Appalachia Service Project too for many years, and at that time we met in the youth room. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, and Brownies all use our space. Many, if not most, of our White Plains ministries meet and conduct business here. I was the missions chair at one point, and everything we did was in the CLC. Our Hispanic ministry gathers in the CLC as well as the chapel. Wedding receptions are held here. Food pantry serves and witnesses from our CLC. We host community dinners here as a form of outreach. We have funeral receptions here, blood drives, Alcoholics Anonymous, Seeds of Love, Vacation Bible School, and so on. Jerry and I go to the embrace service, and most of our time at White Plains is spent in the CLC. So maybe that's why we have a heart for making it new again. But we're really looking forward to a time when we can see all the many different groups of people pass through these doors again. And so this building can once again be used as the blessing we know it is.
My family moved to Cary and came to White Plains when I was 5, so over 50, almost 50 years for me. In the church, we came in when it was just the chapel and the little string of offices and classrooms attached to it. There was some mobile classrooms and a Metal Scout building down in the bottom of the parking lot at the time, and that's where a lot of youth activities and scouts and everything met. Several of our Sunday school classes met in the mobile classrooms, and we we were going to the traditional, early morning service, so there was a 8:30 service at the time, and that's where we started going as a family and participated in the life of the church. Got involved in many of the ministries here, helped start a puppet team at the time, got in a youth group and an ASP, eventually went to MAS, did some other workshop. They used to call it junior high workshop. I guess it's called Breakaway now or something like that with the conference. So we've always had a lot of youth involved with conference level events and got a chance to do that. Was here when they built the Children's Center, the new sanctuary, the Children's Center, and then eventually the CLC. So we've only added to what we've been able to do for the community. As far as what I've been able to see, you know, we had a very limited facility when we started. It was a good group of people, but as we added to it, we became more able to serve the people that we live around.
And where did you find your bride?
Met my wife through, so yeah, it was definitely, we got to know each other through church. We were in youth group together for a little bit, and she's younger than me. She would have me remind you of that. She's younger than I am. So, but yeah, our families met here. We were introduced later on, and we brought our kids here too. So that's I guess sort of a different story. Most people grow up and move away, but we both live in the area and work in the area, so our kids came to church here too.
I can remember being outside with shovels, and everybody took a turn shoveling dirt when we broke ground for the CLC. That was really exciting. And I would never have dreamed in this period of time how well it's used. And we're here a lot, and we're involved in many of the programs, but Melody, just hearing the list from you, which is probably not complete, is amazing.
This is some of the picture, the big picture of what White Plains has meant to us as a congregation, to the community, and to the world beyond. So lots of different missions and lots of activities and so forth. So we're looking forward to having folks return their estimate of giving cards, to make contributions to the general fund on an annual basis, for the missions outreach fund on an annual basis, and for the next 3-year Heart and Home campaign from 2022 through March of 2025.